Diller started Fox for Rupert, as you mentioned earlier. I mean, he was on the other side of the fence, so he knows exactly what the stakes are, ways to get around it even. And so when he backed Aereo, he asked all the tough questions of that founder. So basically, he said, okay, guess what? This startup knows how to do it in such a way that it's not going to skirt the rules just the right way so that they can get the customers.
So, Ed, we should talk a little bit more about what Aereo is. I mean, basically, there's a bunch of receiving antennas that are based around Brooklyn, right?
Right.
And you can pick up a signal and bypass a pretty big chunk of the middle.
Right, exactly right. So right now what happens with broadcasters is that they're free to air. Anyone can put up rabbit ears and grab that signal. But if you get it from cable or satellite, those companies have to pay Fox or CBS or any of these guys to pick up that signal. Aereo, what they're doing is something different. They're saying we're not actually picking up that signal and retransmitting it. We're renting these tiny little antennas to consumers. So what's wrong with that?
Right now, this is only available in New York, but the threat here is that this happens in cities across the country.
It happens in cities across the country, but actually that's not the only threat. The other threat is that they own this great technology now. If they continue to win in the courts, cable companies could go to Aereo and say, let's cut a deal, I'll license your technology so I don't have to pay those fees to Fox anymore.
And I know, as you've been covering, Ed, one of the dangers for CBS or Fox or anybody else is that actually getting that money is a big part of their revenue stream. I mean, they count on that, so they don't want it taken away.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of the business now. It's going to reach $3 billion this year by some estimates. So $3 billion is a lot of money to lose, which is why they're fighting back hard now.
Okay, they're fighting back. What happens to the affiliates? What happens to the O&Os, the owned and operated? I mean, there's a lot of categories are touched.
Well, I mean, the thing of it is Fox has contracts with its affiliates. So they either just let those contracts run out or they buy out those contracts. I mean, it's a pretty big move on their part. But a little bit of perspective here. 100 million households in the U.S. pay for cable or satellite. Only about 17 million households rely on free broadcast right now. So it's still a lot of people affected, but it's not a bulk of the consumers just yet.